Nanette. It's March 18th, 2015, and my dog just accidentally disconnected this last video that I was making. So anyway, with Erica Bellinger, after she basically pulled the exact same routine that my mom had been, I guess, made to practice or whatever. Not sure, but Dixie had been made to practice at Jenny's Shoes in Coos Bay. After Erica did this, which was the same thing that all these men had made me practice and other women had made me practice, I then was going, under the influence, like really incapacitated. I just kind of was in a subconscious state of doing the same things that I had been trained to do so many times repeatedly in the past. And these are government people who do this all the time, so they know how many times it takes to get it to stick and work. So basically, they use this whole mind control idea of controlling me and my behavior and what I would do is in a response to things that they would do and their trigger. And so I did that, and then, it made me look really bad in front of this club. To anyone looking on the outside who had no idea what had all these different things that had happened to me when I was a kid and all the programming and the practice that went into it, to anyone who would look, it looked like I was maybe slightly drunk or very drunk, rejecting my friend and saying, no, leave me alone, you're not my mom, and going with some strange man, just on like a one-night stand is what it looked like. And so it made me look pretty cheap. And at the time, I didn't care because I just was kind of doing what I was programmed to do, and I'd already told this guy, I'm not going to have sex with you. I had told Mike that. I thought, well, maybe I'll go with him to his house and we could talk. But I said, I just want you to know I'm not going to have sex with you. Nanette, get down. Nanette. She's looking for a cookie because she really likes my cookies. Nanette. So, anyway, it was pretty sad because then from that one programming sequence where I was basically forced to make to look like a floozy, and here I was going after this guy named Mike Tanzer, and I didn't even know, he just told me his last name. I didn't put it together who he was or who he was connected to at all. I didn't recognize him. I mean, I hadn't seen him since he was a little boy. And I didn't think about his family's name. It didn't ring a bell to me at all. I hadn't thought about the Tanzers forever. I mean, not for a long time. And and so I went with him and had already told him, what I wasn't going to do, which is also something that I would say as a kid at times. And then once he got me to his house, he then used a different series of government triggers to facilitate raping me and making me feel like I had to go along with it, or else I would get, or else I would be potentially tortured. And the part where this goes together with what I was talking about with Judge Gillespie is that after the club, this pajama party club that was like this mental place that Gillespie was sending me to through the case, through the courts and stuff, and after Judge Gillespie was having me practice all this programming in his bed, which is like this white comforter, solid white comforter and white sheets, this place that Mike took me to, that was really his apartment, had a big bed. It was a solid white comforter, white sheets, and he started saying the same things that Judge Gillespie was said to me years earlier when I was a girl, and such as, I want to go down on you. This exact same thing that that Gillespie had said to me, and some of the things that had been programmed and I was supposed to respond to. And I was getting tortured. I mean, I was incapacitated, and I was tortured to not reject the advances of these government individuals that were doing these things. And Gillespie also did, I was trying to remember, when did he assault me, but he was assaulting me. He was not in that specific scene where he was tape recording things, but at a different time he was doing things. And quote unquote, like, coming or whatever, ejaculating. And sometimes I would say, like, that's too fast or whatever, and send it to some of these guys. Well, anyway, then that's what Mike Tanzer was saying. Sorry, I didn't wait or whatever. It's just really gross. The whole thing was like this whole government setup. From the moment that Erica Ballinger was trying to look like goody two-shoes, like she was protecting me when she wasn't, when she was actually facilitating a rape of me and using the exact same strategy that she knew worked. This is the second rape that she was facilitating. Like, she's like a drive-by accessory. And then to go from that to the next sequence of being forced to go along with sex that I didn't want and didn't consent to, and was too incapacitated to consent to even if I wanted to. And to have him say all these things that, like, Judge Gillespie had said years earlier, it was like a series of 3 different kinds of government programming, and then like a big joke between all of them. And so here was this, here were the United States government employees, all these people who repeatedly gang raped me and tortured me, stole a lot of money from me when I was a kid, and here they were happily planning these humiliating and degrading one-night stand kinds of deals that were made to look like one-night stands, like consecutive one-night stands, when it was actually consecutive rapes of me by the government, by their kids. First it was their parents, and then they were getting their kids to do these things when they were older. So I'm not joking, I am not exaggerating, and I'm not reading too much into things. This is really seriously what happened, and these people all know each other. So it's like they're all it's like this big group of FBI and CIA, Pentagon, government rapists, like a whole group of them. And I mean, like, why did they hate me? I mean, why do they hate me that much to be doing that? And then this is the exact same group. Here's the same judge that was part of all this, and the other people that have been part of programming me and degrading me to that level. Here they are kidnapping my baby girls, for what? So that my baby girls can go through the exact same thing that they used me for. I mean, this is the truth of what the United States government's been doing. And what Mike did and all of that, and the programming for all of this, going to the car, or going to the guy who told me, to go with him or whatever. A lot of what I was being told was, they were getting mad at me because I was saying things like, pride goes before a fall, and using the Bible at some of them, because I started reading the Bible and I believed it. Some of them got really mad and they started saying, "Oh, pride goes before a fall. You just remember that." And then they started saying that these people were nuts about Kate Middleton. I mean, like, don't tell me that Kate Middleton does not spy for the U.S. I don't believe it for a minute. Because there's no way that these people over here in the U.S. would have gone so gangbusters about her, to the extent of raping me the way that they raped me and setting me up the way they set me up. So here I was being told, oh, pride goes before fall. You remember that. You remember that because it's going to be you that falls. You're the one who's going to fall. So then here they were setting me up to fall. They were deliberately setting me up to look like a total slut, and that was supposedly to be in revenge for just making up one song about Kate Middleton or not liking her or whatever, and their desire to antagonize me. They were extremely defensive about her. You know, I kept wondering, who the hell is she related to? Like, it doesn't seem to me like it's just Carol or Mike. Like, what is this big U.S. investment with her? Because, you know, why would anyone go to the levels that they went to, or the lengths that they went to? I mean, I'm sure that part of it is that she was a scapegoat, but they were happy enough to, even if that was the case, to fix their hatred of me onto an excuse. So regardless, they hated my guts. They didn't like having me tell them pride goes before a fall. And instead, they wanted to make me look like I was a fallen woman. And that's what they were saying to me. You just wait. You are going to look like the fallen woman. You will be the fallen woman, is what they were saying to me. And these were just nasty women and men who were involved in that. And that's the kind of thing that they've been practicing and feel so proud about. And here are these guys that have just raped me repeatedly. I mean, like, it's not obvious or anything. Like, their parents did that kind of thing. And then they send their, I mean, like, that's, like, seriously sick. What kind of people practice rape against a little girl when she's a minor? And then they get their kid to do the same thing. I mean, I'm not quite sure how these dynamics work and the psychology of families exactly. And raping, I guess it's not just a sexual thing or something that people consider to be private or gross if you share it from one family member to the next. I mean, I think there was just more of a, it was like, as they say, rape can be just a violent crime, not necessarily a sexual crime. I think it was just more of a crime of violence. It's like these fathers and mothers were encouraging their sons to rape me after the fathers were raping me. And sometimes the mothers were too. Like, the mothers were sometimes doing oral sex to me. And I just didn't understand that. To me, I can't believe that I've been in the middle of this kind of circle of people, because that is not anything that I would ever imagine or doing or wanting my kid to do or feeling proud about. And I can't even put myself in their shoes. I can't put myself into that mindset of how anyone would feel comfortable with that, or even feel like jubilant about it, you know, like excited about it. I guess if someone thinks that they're never going to get caught and that the mainstream people will never hear about how this was a whole plotted thing and how really criminal and disgusting this is, maybe they would just think, okay, go ahead and do this because it will just make her look so degraded, and we need someone to do this, so we trust you to do it since you're our kid. I mean, maybe that's how it was going. You know, like they trusted the family member to go out and make me look as bad as possible. So, you know, I have no idea. But that's what they did. And so there's more than that even. And as I said, I'll bring up more of these other kids that grew up and raped me next, you know, go through them one by one. These are seriously people that anyone who's very smart needs to stay away from.